come through, it's tolerated. 32 like playing sides, cause when they try to bring it. No condo, say your name at the front. You can't stay if you want. It's been one of those nights I ain't had in a minute. It's been a minute.
What's up, everybody? I'm Nami, and today I'm here to talk about my locks. Okay, so I have been growing my locks since the start of COVID, okay? 2020, COVID, I said, you know what? I'm done trying to fight with my hair. I'm gonna lock it up. At that point, I was wearing braids. I had just had my daughter, and so I was just doing whatever was easiest, wearing braids, wearing different protective hairstyles. I had already messed around with faux locks a few times, and I really loved them. And I knew I was gonna lock my hair for like the entire year before, even a little bit longer. I was just doing the typical thing, growing out my fro. I wanted to see how long I could grow my fro, and honestly, it just took forever, and it really didn't feel like it was growing at all, even though I know it was. It was a lot of work. My hair has always been very sensitive, and I just had enough. I actually had two-strand twisted my hair with the possibility in my mind that maybe I wouldn't take out the twists, but the more twists I did on my hair, the more the realization set in that they were never coming out. And I was fine with it. So because of that, it's not neat. They're definitely not all the same size, and I love every single lock on my head. The truth is really that I wish I would have done it sooner because of my hair being sensitive to any type of weather, any type of season, any type of temperature. I always had trouble with my edges. I always had trouble with breakage and length retention. My hair is low porosity, or it at least was when I had my fro. And it was just a mission. And I honestly grew up hating my hair. I have a fine texture. It would be bone straight if I straightened it. But the density, girl, the density of my fro was something else, and it was just really hard to take care of, and I was tired of struggling and hating my hair. I have done my locks. I have not had to worry about doing my hair, like really at all. I don't do anything to it. I wake up, take my bonnet or my scarf off, and I'm ready to go. So yeah, I really wish I had done it sooner, but honestly, I did it in perfect timing. And my journey over the last 5 years has been amazing with my locks. I will never take them out. This is a permanent style for me. When I started, they were up here, and in 5 years, they're stretching. My hair has never been healthier. It's never grown faster, like all around. It was just an amazing decision. And my mom knew how to do hair. I always knew that my hair did better in braids, in protective styles, but I wanted what I'm sure every brown skinned girl wants, is long, beautiful hair. And because I went through a stage of straightening it, trying to pass as a person that is not myself and conform to what is nice and neat, I fried my hair. I tried relaxers. I didn't have a healthy relationship with my hair, and my hair was not healthy. And now it is. And now I see like how little and low maintenance it is, and I would not change that for the world. You couldn't pay me. So I said it's been 5 years. If you're curious about how long it takes to lock up, if you're curious about the upkeep, if you're curious about all the things that everybody's always curious about when it comes to locks, how to keep them clean, how to take care of them, we're going to get into that. To start with, I have been locked for 5 years, and there are still two-strand twists in different areas in my hair. At the bottom, you can tell that I did two-strand twists. It honestly started to lock up very quickly, and it really all depends on your hair texture and what your hair does. My sister has, I think, like 3B, 3C hair, but her hair gets super tangly super fast. This girl, I locked up her hair like 4 months ago. I don't even think it's been 6 months yet, and it's already locked. Your texture also will determine your length retention. There's different phases of locks, budding phase, locking phase. Like there's different phases of locks, and that shows up differently on your hair. So I definitely encourage you to research the different phases so that you're not like, oh my God, why are these knots in my hair? The buds. Or why is my hair shrinking instead of growing? Like, you're gonna have to be very flexible. Locks are a way to exercise your freedom with your hair. I personally don't believe that they're supposed to be neat all the time and they're supposed to be tip top. If you have kids or if you're thinking about locking your child's hair, like, it's very hard to keep them nice and neat. They're not even supposed to be nice and neat. Our hair naturally locks. You can try to make them as uniform as possible. You can try to make them as perfect as possible. You're gonna drive yourself mad holding those expectations for your hair. It's just not very realistic. In some ways, I'm sure it's possible, but if you go in with low expectations, you're probably gonna come out happy. Don't get me started on the ugly phase. You got to figure out how to love yourself, period. If you find ways to nitpick about yourself, you are definitely going to find ways to nitpick about your locks. And they're not about nitpicking. Like, it's like doing a big chop. You're going to have to learn to love your face in all different phases of your hair. I am not my hair. I am not the thing. I am not your expectations, though. Truly. My daughter has had her hair locked for 2 years now, and I did braids on hers because she's just a kid. She's always getting into things. She's slimming. She just is very crazy. Even with wearing a bonnet all night, she still has things in her hair. We still have to detox it. I have to spend time on it. Like, her hair is a lot more upkeep because she's wild. She's a wild child. But she still has braids. Like, half of her hair is new growth and the other half is the braids that I put in 2 years ago. So whether you two-strand twist, whether you finger coil, whether you braid, is going to make a difference on your hair. And it really all depends on your type of hair, what texture you have, and what your hair likes to do. So keep that in mind. I only have ever retwisted my hair with honey and oil. I don't like just doing oil because it doesn't make a retwist last. And if you're expecting your retwist to last a long time, just get that straight out of your mind because it's just a retwist. Like, the product is only going to stay in for so long. That doesn't account for washing your hair. That doesn't account for if you don't wear a bonnet or a scarf to bed. Like, it's going to be frizzy. It's going to take some time to train it. But I don't really like just using the oil on my hair. It feels like I might as well just not lock it or retwist it. Like, I might as well just not retwist it. I might as well just take the oil and put it on. However, honey, which is really good for your scalp, does wonders for my hair, my locks. I don't retwist my daughter's with honey because her scalp is really sensitive even to oils. So I interlock her hair. And interlocking is just like creating a hatch, and you're actually like making a lock on your hair. So you can look into that if you're interested. It's a process. I also interlock mine every like other retwist if needed, depending on what I'm doing. It will create texture in your locks. Like, I can do this and I can actually feel the difference between where I've interlocked it and where I just retwisted it. But yeah, I only retwist with honey, a little bit of honey and a little bit of oil just to make the honey not as sticky. I've retwisted it with straight honey before and it was fine. Like, I don't get the bugs attracted to me. Nothing happens. It literally is just a gel, and my hair loves it. So maybe you could try it. I don't know. I would definitely stay away from heavy products, especially if you have a sensitive scalp, or especially if you have the type of porosity that is not good for overloading on your hair. I also recommend to just pay attention to your scalp, because it will tell you whether you're using too much product, whether you need to cleanse it more, or like, you use a better clarifying shampoo. I typically like to use something with tea tree oil when I do wash my hair, which is not super often because my scalp is very sensitive. I wash it with a clarifying tea tree shampoo. I try to get good shampoo without all of the sulfates, parabens, blah, 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 with the least amount of ingredients. But honestly, my favorite when I was in the States was the tea tree shampoo at Trader Joe's, just because it was so like powerful and it just made my scalp feel amazing. It did not have the best ingredients, but it made my scalp feel amazing. Okay. I haven't had that in a minute. I honestly, for the last since I've been in Puerto Rico, I've just been washing my hair with whatever. Or if I really don't want to use a shampoo that's around, then I will just detox my locks, or I'll just use apple cider vinegar, or like make some rosemary water that's also clarifying for your scalp. And I use that. So, detoxing. I detox my locks probably once or twice every 6 months. It depends on what I'm doing. When I was in Costa Rica, I did not have access to hot water until the end of my stay. So that made it really annoying to try and detox my locks, because it's not fun washing your locks with cold water. Like, it's just not a vibe. It keeps the stuff inside your locks. Like, you need the warmth. You need the hot water. But I was also in the beach all the time, and it was just like, what is the point of detoxing this when I'm gonna go right back into the beach? When I'm not going to the beach all the time and going on crazy hikes and riding ATVs and getting all kinds of dirt in my hair and all that stuff, I probably will detox it once every 6 months and wash it every time I'm going to retwist it, which is usually about every 6 weeks to 2 months. For me, I do have to retwist it within a decent time frame, because when I don't, my locks get really matted and I don't have the time to sit there and try and separate them. I also don't have the muscle strength and stamina to keep my arms up that long, so I will just rip it. And I don't like to do that to my hair. So I make sure that every 6 weeks to 2 months, it's done. And in between that, I'll be feeling back there and separating pieces and things like that. So that's why I keep up on mine. On my daughter's, I have to do hers once a month. She's very tender-headed, and hers mat together very quickly. Her hair grows very quickly, and so I have to stay on top of it. Also, if you retwist it too often, you can stress out your scalp and your hair. And if you don't retwist it often enough, you will have really, really thin lock, depending on your type of hair and what goes on with your scalp. So another thing where you just have to find out what works for your hair, and you have to figure out what is the sweet spot for you. In between retwists and everything, like I said, I don't put anything on my hair in my locks. If my hair feels stiff, that's how I know I need to wash it. It will feel waxy. My locks will feel waxy. They'll feel just not very moving. Like mine move. They're very flowy and they're very light. I mean, they're heavy, but they just flow and they're flexible. I can tell the difference when they're not, because I pay attention to my hair, and that's when I know, I need to wash my hair. Or sometimes I wash them and it might feel better, but then after it's dried, give it a couple days and I'm like, okay, no, next time I wash my hair, I need to detox it. And then it goes back to feeling like your hair is alive. I mean, at least mine is. It feels like it's alive. It loves it when I detox them, when it's time. I can feel it when they're dry, and on those times after I take a shower and my hair's been I usually don't get my hair wet, but when it's in the steam and everything, then I'll run some like oil through it, some jojoba or almond oil, something that's light, easy to get into my locks and everything like that, with some tea tree or rosemary essential oils in there as well. Other than that, and typically I'm not putting anything in my hair. Also, your hair and your skin are a reflection of what you're putting into your body. So stay hydrated, drink lots of water. Know that the typical like water bottles and things do not have the minerals and the molecules that your body needs for hydration. So infuse it with lime, infuse it with fruits, drink coconut water, hydrate your body from the inside, and you will see how that looks on the outside. You will also get lint in your hair. It's like inevitable. I don't think I've ever seen somebody with locks that didn't have lint and just little things in their hair. You can try and maintain it and keep up on it. I would recommend to examine your locks often to stay on top of it, but you need to wear a bonnet religiously or a scarf and just like be completely on top of it if you're going to be a perfectionist with your locks. They're going to get lint. They are going to catch like little things, probably sand if you're on the beach. So do the best preventative care and sleep with a bonnet and a bandana. If you know that you're going to be going hiking, put your hair up, I don't know, just whatever you're comfortable with or however you want to work in. If you know that you're a clean freak and you're going to flip the heck out, then take the precautions. But know that you're probably going to see some lint in your hair. The only thing that I've seen to even try to fix a problem of lint is dyeing your hair with your locks with the lint. Like it dyes the lint and then at least it's not white. If you go too far and you have lots of lint in your hair, do not pick it out unless you are prepared to cut that lock off, because it will create holes in your hair. Also, with the length retention, just be prepared for your locks to shrink and grow and shrink. Everybody says after a year they grow and blah blah. It's gonna be different. There's really no size fits all. It depends. I've seen people who had their locks for 5 years and they only grew couple inches, and then I seen people who had their locks for 2 years and they tripled in length. So it really just depends on your hair. Don't be too hard on yourself if it's not moving the way you want it. It's all about the journey, and your locks are a representation of your energy and how you're moving throughout your life. So it's a good idea to just pay attention to them, give them love, and give yourself love and treat yourself well. And I'm sure you will love your locks the way that they're growing out of your own head. If you're thinking about locking your hair, this is your sign to do it. If you have any questions, I have helped people on their lock journey for the last 5 years of mine, locked a few heads myself, and done some retwists, done things like that. Obviously, I'm not an expert, but I do feel that I have a nice knowledge of locks. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about locks. Thank you for watching, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Nami Hewitt. This is not a typical video that I do. If you look on my page, all my stuff is about travel and lifestyle. I'm getting a little bit more into lifestyle outside of the travel niche, so this is a video on that. I do have a blog on things travel related, digital nomad related, and yeah, I'm just kind of like an open book of information. I try a lot of new things so that other people can learn from my experiences, and that's just about it. Welcome to the life of Nami, and if you made it this far, give me a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next one.
It's been a minute, had a promise from the recreate the feeling. But it's never the same as the first time we did it. First time we did it. But I let my guard down for you. Said I put my guard down for you. Said I'll be vulnerable, so you can break my heart if you want to. She said take your time.